Good morning. This is Judge Alyssa Perez presiding over the 210th District Court Civil Docket for April 6th, 2022. All matters being heard today are being heard in accordance with all emergency orders and directives regarding COVID-19. In addition to that, we are streaming all matters live via YouTube for public viewing. Just give me 1 second. My computer mine is running really, really slow. Ay, ay, ay. All right, Mr. Marufo, would you call our first case, please?
In cause number 2022 DCV 0827. It's an occupational hearing, license hearing, ex parte Armando Velez Garcia. Announcement of council, please.
Rocha King for the state of Texas. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Mr. Coronado, is that you? Are you the occupational? If you are, please unmute.
Judge, I'm in a hearing real quick. I apologize.
Okay, we'll come back to this one. Who's next, Mr. Marufo?
It would be the 10 a.m. one, the beacon information with Mr. Darnell and Skipwood.
Go ahead.
In cause number 2020 DCV 0749, beacon informations et al. Versus Antonio Uraga et al. Announcement of council, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Eric Darnell on behalf of the defendant, present and ready to proceed.
Mr. Skipworth. I don't see Mr. Skipworth.
He's turned around. He hasn't connected.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. We're going to go to the next. Mr. Skipworth, can you? Yeah, he's not going to be able to hear us, is he? He's not connected. Oh, maybe he'll connect.
Yeah, I had problems with it this morning too, Judge. You were right.
All right, Mr. Skipworth, I don't know if we were able to hear us, but we did call the case.
Been waiting I didn't hear anything.
Oh, well, let me tell you, your audio is great. It's very clear. You've got some good technology there. All right, so we're here for a docket call. Clearly, well, I'll tell you, I have panels this week. Is anybody ready to go to trial? I got to think the answer is no. But Mr. Skipworth, let me start with you.
No, if you're talking about the Beacon case, we're not ready to go. We're still,
Correct.
There's a problem here.
I agree.
In that just this morning, I got another motion from Mr. Darnell to strike the plaintiff's response to the defendant's motion for no evidence summary judgment and motion for summary judgment by default. On March 25th, the court issued an order, and the order says denying defendant's motion to strike plaintiff's response. But at the last sentence says, the court, after considering the summary judgment evidence, hereby denies plaintiff's summary judgment. So I don't know what the ruling is. I mean, there is no
Let me go back and look at the order.
There's no clear order denying the motions for summary judgment. All right, so then we keep going. I still don't have discovery. Mr. Darnell has objected to every discovery request. I have a motion to compel discovery that we've talked about several times. I don't know how many times we've appeared on this particular matter, but there's still no ruling on the motion to compel.
All right, so we need to go back. There's a couple of things, and you're correct, Mr. Skipworth. I'm looking at the order. Well, I may have to go back and look at a few things. There is an order denying defendant's motion to strike plaintiff's response, and so that order needs to be amended. Let me see. I haven't gotten yet. I'm not going to look yet at that April 5th filing. Let me just backtrack on some of these.
Well, it's the same thing. It's what you've already overruled.
Not at all, Judge, but I'll wait till it's my turn to address the court. Thank you.
Well, we're not gonna, well, let me just go back and make sure that and following what Mr. Skipworth is explaining to me on some of these orders that have been previously filed. Okay, there's the non-suit. And then let's see, the order denying summary judgment.
I don't have an order denying the summary judgment. All I have is an order denying defendant's motion to strike plaintiff's response.
So there is an order denying defendants no evidence motion for summary judgment. However, I think the issue is the same within the body of the order. So that will also, Myrna, if you will please print me out both orders denying that were filed on March 25th. Those need to be amended. Let's see. The non-suit is fine. Okay. Going back. And then you mentioned the motion to compel, Mr. Skipworth.
Yeah,
was the one
that's
had a
on.
That is the one where you also requested sanctions, correct?
Well, so I just want the answers.
Right, so
Sanctions is fine, but
the motion to compel, I'm showing, I have the order granting your motion to compel. That order was filed on January 28th.
no. There must have been an earlier motion. We have a later motion. Subsequent to that, I had discovery.
What's the date of that motion?
My motion to compel. I'm
Yes,
sorry, I don't
the
have
later
that.
one. The last one I am seeing in the filings was on, you filed a motion to compel on December 29th. We had a hearing, I believe, on the 26th. I'm not sure, but I have the order granting the motion to compel filed as of January 28th.
Well, I need a
motion.
copy of that.
Okay, so it's within Odyssey. So Myrna, I don't know if you could email the order from January 28th, if you could email that to Mr. Skipworth's office, please. And then the motion for sanctions, I'm trying to see if there was a corresponding, that was denied, but I don't recall there being a corresponding order. Okay. And I'm just going through the remainder of the filing. So Myrna, in addition, I don't see Mr. Skipworth after the December motion to compel. I don't see another motion to compel. So if you did file one, I don't know, Ms. Rios, if you can tell me, am I just missing something here? I only see one motion to compel, which was heard at the beginning of
Right. I can only see one too, but let me see if there was one that was filed and rejected.
Sure.
Excuse me just a minute. Let me go get the file. Just a minute.
Sure.
Judge, if I may assist.
Just hold on a second, please. Well, did you receive another motion to compel?
Did I, Judge?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
And what I had done, Judge, well, I guess I'll wait till Mr. Skipworth comes.
Oh, I'm back.
We had filed a motion to extend the time until after the court ruled on the no evidence motion for summary judgment.
Which one? The one filed on April 5th?
Yeah, the first one, yes. And the new one, contrary to the opposing counsel's assessment, is based upon a defective response because any response to no evidence motion for summary judgment requires affidavits, and they filed one, and then the affidavit is defective and not competent evidence because the
Mr. Darnell, hold on a second, because we're not here. I know you all, look, I know you all have been, at odds pretty much at every step. And so we're not going to get into the details of that today. What I need to square away, number one, Mr. Skipworth, did you file another motion to compel?
No.
Okay.
No.
So then the motion to compel has been ruled upon. The court will amend the two March 25th orders to accurately reflect the court's rulings. We're here for a docket call, and of course, I'm well aware that this is not ready for trial. Mr. Darnell, you have an April 5th filing. If you want a hearing on it, you need to email that to Ms. Hernandez requesting the hearing, and we will get it scheduled. Am I
Thank you, Judge.
understanding from both of you? Obviously, we're not going to trial, correct, this week?
That's correct.
Okay,
We'd like to
So-
keep the trial date and go, Judge.
Well,
We have some conflict issues with some other hearings, but we're ready to go.
so what do you want to do with your new motion for summary judgment?
Just ask that the court rule. I guess we can set it for a hearing. We were hoping that it might be heard before the trial started.
Well, you filed it yesterday and the trial starts tomorrow.
Well, and I also, yes, understand, but I also didn't realize that that the affidavit was defective and was not competent evidence. And I apologize, but I found it out, so it's there's essentially no response to the motion.
Okay. So for purposes of our trial setting this week, I am going to reset that trial, and what I'm going to do is we are going to reset or restart a limited, I guess, new timetable for this case. Myrna, did we have a good September trial, open trial setting? I'm thinking maybe the 23rd of September.
It's available, Judge.
Okay,
I have another trial set, Judge.
okay. What about the 30th?
It's available, Judge. The only one is the 15th, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Attorney Matt.
Yeah. 9:30.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. That might be pushing it if you're in trial the previous week, because we would have our docket call on the 20th of September.
Every week in September, I have a trial set.
Okay.
I am available in October, however.
Okay, and so then I'll move over to October. Mr. Darnell, how does the 21st of October, I understand you're not wanting to push it, but the 21st of October, your availability? Mr. Darnell?
I'm sorry, I thought I took it off. I apologize, Judge.
That's okay.
I have a case that's set. I think it'll, but I got to be careful because I also had a trial set for Monday, and then I wasn't sure on this one, so I've been really walking on eggshells because I wasn't sure what I was going to do if the one on Monday goes too. I have something set, but I don't think that it's going to go on the 24th. And I'm proceeding. I just want to make sure that I'm not messing this up as far as when we said it that the trial would be on the 24th. If we pick that date or another date, but then we would start the voir dire and complete picking the jury on the 21st, the Friday before, and start the trial on Monday.
Correct. So again,
Perfect.
with the caveat that in our COVID world, anything can change, we would set jury selection for the 21st and then begin evidence on the 24th. So we're going to go ahead and set that. If you would please, Myrna, send them the new scheduling order. I know there are many, well, there are gonna, I gotta assume, gonna continue to be many issues for which we're gonna need additional hearings. Please get the scheduling order back to the court. Mr. Darnell, you already have one new outstanding motion. Send us an email if you want a hearing on it, and I will schedule that accordingly.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, and we'll get to the amended orders. Mr. Skipworth, if you're anticipating, if you thought you were filing another motion to compel and still feel the need to do that, the process is the same. Please file it, email the court with your request for hearing, and we'll schedule your hearing. We will have an entry of the scheduling order in 2 weeks from today at 1:30.
When I have another hearing?
That'll be when the scheduling order is due to be returned to the court.
Okay.
If Mr. Darnell puts in his request, you can anticipate his hearing being at the same time, just to kind of save everybody from having to come back more than once.
No, that's great, Judge. Thank you.
Mr. Skipworth, you need to file something, please do so, and we'll have a hearing on it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thank
All
you,
right.
Your Honor. May I be excused?
You may. Thank you.
Thank
All right.
you.
Thank you, Judge.
Mr. Coronado's next.
Morning, Judge.
Morning. Go ahead, Mr. Marufo.
In cause number 2022 DCV 0827, ex parte Armando Veliz Garcia. Announcement on council, please.
Rocha King for the state of Texas.
Sergio Coronado, Your Honor, on behalf of Mr. Armando Velez, we are ready.
And Mr. Velez is appearing remotely as well. At least he was. I may have lost him here.
I'm here.
Oh, there he is. Okay. Sorry, Mr. Velez. I lost you in all the boxes. All right, we're scheduled for an occupational license. Mr. Coronado, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. Please support counsel. Mr. Velez, can you please state your full name?
Armando Emanuel Velez Garcia.
All right, Mr. Velez, you're applying to this court for an occupational license, is that correct?
That's correct.
You are currently in need to be able to drive and operate a vehicle in order for your employment and for essential household duties, is that correct?
That's correct.
And sir, where are you employed?
I'm employed at El Diario del Paso newspaper.
Okay, and that is on Texas Street?
That's correct.
All right, and where do you live, sir?
I live at 633 Bristol Drive, 79912.
Okay. And apart from your employment with respect to driving to and from your house, you have listed in your application various of the other routes that you take in order as part of your routine during the week to be able to both
Mr.
comply
Coronado,
with
I'm
your
having a little trouble hearing. There's kind of some intermittent
Static.
Yeah, static or
Can
something.
you hear me? There's static.
Yes. Uh-huh. It's just cutting out a little bit. Can you start over, please?
Can you hear me better?
Okay, no, get away from the mic a little bit. You're too close. When you get away a little bit, then it's better.
Is
So
that better?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, Erica.
All right. All right, Mr. Velez, you're filed a petition to obtain an occupational license from this court on the basis that you are employed and are in need of an occupational license in order to comply with the requirements of your job and for essential household duties. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And you work at the Diario del Paso on Texas Street here in El Paso?
Yes, that's correct.
And you live on the west side in the 79912 zip code?
That's correct.
Right, and you have listed the routes that you are in need to be able to operate your vehicle to comply with your work requirements and also for your essential household duties, is that correct?
That's correct.
And you are currently on bond for a DWI case, and you are required to have an interlock on your vehicle, is that correct?
That's correct. I already have the interlock installed.
Yes, and as part of this occupational license, you understand that you'll also be required to maintain that interlock device for as long as the occupational license is in effect. Do you understand?
I understand.
Nothing further.
Okay, one thing on the insurance, Mr. Velez or Mr. Coronado, is there an update? I show it's expiring in about 2-3 weeks. Has that been renewed? And do you all
Yes,
have?
I renew it.
It has been renewed, he just stated, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Velez, if you can provide Mr. Coronado with a copy of the renewal. And Mr. Coronado, if you'll email that over to the court, please.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. King, just tell me a little bit, is this, how many DWIs? Is this our first, second?
Your Honor, this technically would be the second. The first one was pretrial diversion. That's how it was dismissed. And the date of offense was 2009, November.
Okay. Okay, sounds good. Anything notable? I mean, I don't need to know, specific details, but anything of concern on the new case? Driving facts, anything like that?
Your Honor, this was involved a single motor vehicle accident.
Mhm. And what was did they do a breath test or was it a blood draw?
They did do a breath test, and it was less than 0.15.
Okay, great.
And-
Okay.
And Judge, it was 0.085.
Okay, perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and Grant, if you will just update me, Mr. Colorado, with the insurance information as soon as I get that. I don't see if there was, I saw all the attachments, but I didn't see the proposed occupational license or order. So if
We-
you
we
have that
did-
also, would you please?
Yeah, we
email
did submit it
along?
to the court. We
Excuse
did
me,
submit it to the court, but I'll send it again, Judge.
send it with the insurance information. And so as soon as I get all of that, it will be approved with all the conditions. He does have the interlock, and that'll be a condition as well, okay? So Mr. Venice, there's
Judge.
just one, I just want to get the update on the information and then we'll be good to go, okay? So your attorney will send you the conform copy of the actual order granting, okay?
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Anything else?
Nothing further, Judge.
All right, you all take care.
Take care,
All right.
Judge. Be excused.
Okay, yes, thank
Madam
you.
Thank you.
Judge.
Yes, Ms. Kate, thank you for being out on a Wednesday. All right, who's next, Mr. Marufo?
First page, second to the bottom, ma'am. Mr. Sellers is here, but I see there's a filed motion for default.
Which one are you talking about?
DVC 3595, Judge.
Okay,
Good afternoon, Judge. Tom Sellers here on behalf of the plaintiff Wells Fargo.
okay, let's go ahead and quickly call it, Mr. Marufo. Motion for default, yes, okay.
In cause number 2021 DCV 3595, Wells Fargo Bank, NA versus Luke E. Prost. Announcement of council, please.
Tom Sellers here on behalf of the plaintiff Wells Fargo Bank.
And anyone here on behalf of Luke Props? No, okay. Mr. Sellers, did you said, I think this is our first default hearing setting. Did you send notice of the hearing to Mr. Props?
I believe notice went out. Give me 1 second, Judge. I had it pulled up and then I got doing something else when you're on your last hearing.
Sure. I show we set it back on March 8th, so it's right around a month.
Yeah. Yes, Judge, we sent it on the 17th via certified mail.
Okay,
We didn't get a green card back, but we did send via certified and first class.
okay. Alrighty, you may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. This is, as you can see from the motion that's I'm sure is in front of your honor on the screen, it's a fairly simple credit card case. Along with our motion, we have filed an affidavit from Wells Fargo, from JC Van Sickle of Wells Fargo. Ms. Van Sickle proves up 3 documents, exhibits A, B, and C, A being the credit card agreement, B and C being credit card statements. Exhibit B showing the last payment back in October of 2020 of just over $1,300 and use of the card, which under Exhibit A is acceptance of those terms. Exhibit C shows the default principal balance, which matches that in the affidavit of Ms. Van Sickle of $15,129.48. Along with this, Judge, we also have our certificate of last known address, as well as our non-military affidavit and an affidavit for attorney's fees from Ms. Whitney Abbott, a colleague of mine here in the office, which states that $800 are reasonable necessary fees. It also lays out hourly rate, what time was spent on what activities, all that you would expect to see in an attorney's fee affidavit. So with that, failure of an answer, the return of service be on file since last year, well over the 10 days necessary. We ask that Your Honor enter judgment as we've pled.
And that will be granted, Mr. Sellers. If I don't already have it, I was trying to go through emails as you were speaking. Would you please send the proposed default, email it to the court, please, and we'll sign off on that and get it filed.
I will send that, Judge. I'm also on your docket here that starts in 15 minutes, another Wells Fargo matter.
Mhm.
We've tried to call your staff. We settled that, so we're trying to pull that hearing.
Let me see.
On Lee
Which-
Font.
Can you give me a cost number?
It's on page 4.
I can, Judge. It's 2021 DCV 3477.
E-file proposed order. Okay.
That one's a summary judgment hearing, and we've settled with opposing counsel or with the defendant. We just want to pull that setting.
Okay. So we will reset for a status in what, 30 days? Can you do it in 30 days or do you need more time?
That shouldn't be that shouldn't be an issue, Judge. Hopefully we can get the agreed judgment on file prior to that.
Okay, so we'll reset for just a status, Myrna, on 3477 for 30 days. Okay. Alrighty,
Thank you, Judge. That's all I have. May I be excused?
you may. Who's next, Mr. Marufo?
On page 2, the third one, Judge, with
Go ahead.
Jim Farrell.
Go ahead.
In cause number 2022 DCV 0195, Juan Garcia Jr. versus EP Intricate Fire Systems and Concepts et al. Announcement of counsel, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. This is James Fuel on behalf of the plaintiff.
Okay, I don't show anyone. Is anyone here on behalf of EP Integrated? I just have us down for a scheduling status conference and status conferences that have been kind of reset. What's going on, Mr. Fuel?
When we filed this case, Your Honor, we included a request for a order to compel mediation according to the company agreement that governs the parties in this case. I provided a copy of the petition to David Leffman, who had represented the defendants prior to suit being filed. He agreed to accept service, and he's now disappeared off the face of the earth, and I can't get him to return calls or emails. So I think what I'm going to do is personally serve each of these defendants. And so I'd ask for some time to do that rather than wait around for Mr. Leffman to resurface.
How much time do you need?
To do service, probably 30 days, but they'll have to have time to answer. So it may be best if we set a scheduling conference at 60 days.
That's exactly what I have. So we'll reset this for 60 days.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Who's next, Mr. Marufo?
It's the next one, the bottom of page 2.
Okay. Mhm.
In cause number 2020 DCV 3543, Francisco J. Cota and Patricia Cota versus EP Vida LLC. Announcement of counsel, please.
Your Honor, Michael Shane on behalf of the plaintiffs.
Morning.
Corey Hoagland on behalf of EP Vida LLC.
Good morning. Good morning.
Morning, Judge.
We're here for a final status and we're not coming back till June, looking for a trial in July, but I'm seeing, I don't know, is this, let me open this notice of attorney conflict. Oh my gosh, I keep
Your Honor,
getting,
I filed a notice of conflict with trial date.
okay, okay.
I've got a 2018 trial that's set the exact same week that we are.
Okay, okay. Well, I'm flexible here. Let me see. I'm just kind of going through some of these entries here. The mediation, what is the deadline? Oh, that's small. Okay, so we still have until June to get this resolved. Have you all discussed if, I mean, is there an agreement if you all want to reset that date? You know, we don't have a lot of hearings leading up to that and we're certainly flexible. So if you all have talked about it, I can look at changing that date. Mr. Hoagland, did you all discuss this?
I tried to reach Mike earlier this week. He tried to reach me this morning. We haven't connected. But I'm okay with moving the trial to accommodate Mr. Shane if he needs it moved.
Sure.
I think he may want to hold on to it to keep pressure on my client. My client's doing a hotel entertainment development at the airport. It has been hung up by litigation and by the city and county processes for getting economic development completed. The agreements for doing the complex have been agreed upon by the city and county economic development people with my client. Mr. Shane's clients are lenders who have provided the financing for really the prior litigation and for doing the development, at least to get to the next stage where interim financing should take out the earlier lenders. My client is finally getting into the posture where they're going to hopefully get these agreements approved by the city and the county. Once that happens, my client's going to be able to get a bridge loan and hopefully pay off Mr. Shane's clients and resolve this case. But really, it's Mr. Shane's the plaintiff or represents the plaintiff, and it's kind of up to him as to what he wants to do with the scheduling.
So my thought is this, kind of keeping that in mind, is possibly leaving that jury trial date, that July jury trial date, and just giving you a quick backup trial date. Kind of with the understanding that I am aware, Mr. Shane, that you have a conflict, but if it'll just keeping everything on paper and official will help us maybe get things moving. And then I'll give you a backup date if we are not able to reach some type of disposition other than trial, and we can just move to our backup date. How does that?
John, I think that's a good idea. I'd like to keep the trial date and maybe just talk to the court at the pre-trial. But if we can get a backup date mid-September or after that, Mr. Holden and I have another trial in August. So maybe mid-September.
Yeah.
I'm free in September and October.
Okay. Okay. So let's look at the 16th. Do you all want to do the grito here in the 210th and celebrate Mexican independence on the 16th of September with a little jury selection?
Of course, Your Honor.
Okay. Let's shoot for that. We'll do September 16th as our backup. I'm not going to change anything. We don't have anything set until the final civil pretrial, and that will have been already, the mediation deadline will have passed. Do you all have mediation scheduled? Are you going to just hold up?
Your Honor, we don't. I actually think mediation in this case,
doesn't make sense.
The facts are what the facts are, and I know the defendants don't have any money until they get that financing. So we have been very judicious in our fees to our clients and trying to get stuff done.
Sounds good. Okay, so we'll just get you your backup date and see you at the next setting. If anything comes up that you all need a hearing on, please let us know via email with the attached filed pleading, and we'll schedule you a hearing. Other than that, won't see you till June 26th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor. Are we excused?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, who's next?
Staying on page 2, the second one, Judge.
Okay, go ahead.
In cause number 2019, DCV 2962, Jose Figueroa Almagar and Elizabeth Jimenez versus Claudia Vargas. Announcement of counsel, please.
Yo, Shelley, on behalf of the plaintiffs.
Chris Johnston here on behalf of the defendant, Your Honor.
Good morning. So final civil pretrial. How are we doing? We have our trial on May 6th.
Your Honor, I have had difficulty locating one of my clients, Mr. Almaguer. Me and Mr. Johnson have been working trying to get this one resolved, but because I can't locate Mr. Almaguer, it's been kind of difficult at this point. We got a new number for him, but he hasn't reached back out to us on that. But that's where we are.
Okay, so I'm inclined to just leave your dates and see where we end up. If you have any luck between now and docket call, doesn't really sound like this is. I mean, is this going to be resolved? Do you think eventually, if you track down Mr. Almaguer?
I imagine so, but I think it's a situation where he was in a dating relationship with Miss Jimenez, They broke up. We're in contact with her. We can't find it.
And it's messy. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, unless it gives you any real heartache to just get to our docket call and you all let me know then. I wouldn't think it's gonna go on May 6th. I know I have a pretty full docket of jury trials that week. Is that is that very disappointing to you, Mr. Johnston, or can we reset at that time, or do you want a backup date now?
I would prefer keeping that date in place, Your Honor, because what's happened is that this is a kind of a similar song and dance that we've heard for a while, and I don't want to put Joe in any bind, but if they don't have any contact with a client, we've been trying to get this case resolved one way or the other. And if he's not being cooperative, I'm assuming that what Joe will have to do is move to withdraw, and then we could go ahead and just go to trial with Mr. Almaguire. Am I pronouncing that correctly, Joe?
I think it's Almaguer, but I get it. That's
okay. And so then we might take a default judgment against him.
Sure. Okay, I'll leave the dates. I'm just so you know, the court has a lot of availability and flexibility after July in terms of trial settings, but up until July, those trials weeks are very full. So just know I'll leave you there. I know it's a 2019 case, but I know I have some jail folks that are also kind of cases are just as old. So we'll leave the dates. We'll see you at the docket call. Good luck, Mr. Shawley.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, take care, guys. Who's next? Mr. Marufo.
Page 3,
Mhm.
top of page 3.
Go ahead.
In cause number 2020 DCV 3954. I'm gonna apologize for the name. Manirhar Bella et al. Versus Lorenzo Antonio Gonzalez et al. Announcement of counsel, please.
Joe Shelley on behalf of the plaintiffs.
Jose Vega here on behalf of defendant Lorenzo Antonio Gonzalez.
Randy Grambling on behalf of the defendant, Progressive.
Good morning. And so final civil pretrial, gentlemen, how we doing?
We just recently took depositions in the case, Your Honor, and we're headed toward mediation.
Okay, beautiful. Well, if nothing comes up, I think we're on track. We've got our July 22nd trial setting. So good luck unless you have
Judge,
something Monday.
Judge, I do have something for the court. This is Jose
Sure.
Vega.
Uh-huh.
We took the depositions, and I believe that this is a case that should be resolved and will likely get resolved. However, if it doesn't get resolved, I don't believe that we'll be ready for that trial setting in July. The mom in this case lost one of the kids that is actually a party to this lawsuit. I don't believe that there's been a suggestion of death that needs to be filed. That needs to be filed with the court. Upon that suggestion of death, there's an immediate stay of this case until that issue is resolved. That is a minor plaintiff that is no longer part of this case. We took the deposition of the adult plaintiff, and honestly, I stopped it, Judge, because that minor plaintiff only died a year ago, and you could tell that this lady was like suffering really hard from this. So if this case doesn't settle, the issue in relation to the estate of the minor child needs to be resolved. In addition to that, we agreed on the record that we would pause the deposition of the plaintiff, the adult mom plaintiff, Melissa, and try to settle this case. If it doesn't settle, unfortunately, we are going to have to move forward with that deposition because we didn't make it through what we needed to make it through, Judge. I paused that deposition on account of sensitivity to the plaintiff. So those are the issues that are going to be resolved, Judge. This case will not be ready in July because of those two big issues.
Yeah, okay. So if I mean, are you asking that I give you a backup date now, or do you want to go maybe to the final status conference and see what?
I believe we should push it to the final status conference, Judge. And then at that point in time, what Mr. Shelley could probably follow is that suggestion of death, which would automatically delay it. But hopefully by leaving that final status, we could schedule mediation and perhaps just get this case off your docket, Judge.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for that additional information. We're just going to go to the next setting for now. Okay. And see what you all get done. All righty.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you, Judge.
Mr. Shelley, were you going to say something?
I was just gonna say thank you, Judge.
Okay. You're welcome. All right. Who's next?
Second one, Judge.
Go ahead.
On page 3. In cause number 2020 DCV 2323, Oscar M. Leiva Jr. versus Miguel Lucero Jr. et al. Announcement of council, please.
Carl Green for Mr. Cordova.
Stephen Wood for the defendant Miguel Lucero Jr.
Perry Pignon representing the plaintiff.
Okay. Let me see. All right, final civil pretrial. I'm just seeing there's some filings, some things that were filed. We are set for jury trial on May 6th. How are we doing?
Your Honor, we just recently filed, the defendants both filed a joint motion to strike one of the plaintiff's experts or trial witnesses, I should say. We need to get that set for a hearing, which we're looking for a date on that, and we'll be doing that shortly. I believe other than that, we are ready to go.
Okay, so
Judge,
yes, was that Mr.
sorry.
Pena?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
The plaintiff has filed a motion for new trial for the court to reconsider the granting of the summary judgment on the future damages.
Okay, so I don't think even in this screenshot I can see all of the, I guess, most recent filings. Because of the time concerns, meaning we're set for trial on May 6th, I need you all, for everything that has been filed for which you are requesting a hearing, you need to email your pleading along with your request for hearing to Ms. Hernandez. Ms. Hernandez, if you will put your email in the chat just to make sure that everybody has the current email, because you can anticipate, I think, let me think. 4/6. I'll have to look at the court's calendar just to see how full we are on the 13th, but I would be inclined to set everything that we can for as soon as possible. So we're looking at the 13th, and then if we need more time, then probably the 18th, okay, on a Monday. But I need to know exactly what it is you are requesting hearings on. So as soon as you get those to me, I will set them.
Judge, just to let you know, I did fax a copy of the motion for new trial.
Okay.
Do you still want me to email?
Well, not necessarily. What I will need is an email request for hearing, and if there's something else, I don't know what else. There's a lot of filings here in Odyssey that have been done in basically the past 3 or 4 days, and so I want to know today everything that you need a hearing on, because I'm going to need to find time between now and that docket call date to have hearings on them. If you faxed it, Mr. Pignon, I'll go ahead and look for that. I still need your email request specifying what exactly, everything that you need a hearing on. If that's the only thing, put that in the email, please.
Okay.
Okay, it's just to help us schedule,
Sure.
with the holiday next week and everything, and we're supposed to be in trial this week. I just got to find time. Anticipate, are you all wanting to do that via Zoom? I generally kind of would, yes, you want to do it via Zoom? Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
Sure.
Judge Carl Green for Mr. Cordova. That's fine with us. I know they have my name is Cal Mundell up on the screen. Please don't tell him. He's a lot better looking than me. But
But I'll tell you this, it's good to see you, Mr. Green. I don't often get to see you, so.
Theoretically, I'm retired, but they keep bringing me back. We're ready. We're ready for trial. I think we have motions in limine that probably need to be heard. as well as we have a motion to strike a witness as well. So we'll work with Ms. Hernandez on that. Get her
Sure.
the emails that you said
Yay.
and get ready to go.
Perfect, perfect. Yes, at least that way, if I have emails from all of you listing everything that needs to be heard, then I can tell you, we'll do these on Wednesday, we'll do these on Monday, just as best as we can. This is, we can get to the May 6th trial date. I mean, I've said it already, May 6th is a very busy date for us. So
Understood.
please just be patient. We're all trying to schedule everything. But things work out, so we might get to y'all. So,
Judge, could you put up the email address again for Ms. Hernandez?
I think it's in there. Let me see the chat. Hold on. Oh, my computer is running slow. Yeah, it's there. It's my.hernandez@epcounty.com. So it's a little change. When we did the switch over, when Myrna came over here, IT had to, so there's a new period between my and Hernandez. Okay.
All right, thank you then.
All righty. Anything else?
Nothing further from us, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day. Have a good day.
Take care. Who's next?
Staying on page 3, the next one, Judge.
Uh-huh.
In cause number 2009-1174, Dodeca LLC versus Marta Rocha. Announcement of council, please.
Yes, thank you. Charles Kennan for Dodeca LLC.
Okay, and Miss Roche isn't here.
She is here. She was under the impression this was an in-person hearing.
Is she out there, Mr. Marujo?
She's in the back.
She's in the lobby.
Okay, so we need to figure out a way to give her access via Zoom. So if you have a laptop there, Mr. Marujo?
She can have my seat. Yes, ma'am.
You give me a moment, ma'am. I can set that up.
Sure. Thank you, Erica. Okay, just give me a second, Mr. Kim. Let's see. Oh, yeah, well, we have to wait for Erica. Miss Rios, are you still there?
Yes, I'm here.
1506, that one's still outstanding, right, on page 1? And I see Mr. Gomez is here.
Yes, we haven't gone over that one.
Yeah, we need to get back to that one. Okay. When Erica comes back after we go back to that one.